Some 17,000 people are filing in this building tonight, and they've all come to see you-know-who.
Well, obviously Kurt's gonna win. Like, he just threw it on.
Well, I love Elvis.
Get your heart up, Kurt Browning. I love you. Elvis Stoiko, good luck! Good luck, Kurt Browning! Good luck, Elvis! We love you! My goodness. Kurt, we know Kurt is good, but we think Elvis can do it. Kurt's gonna win.
The last time Kurt Browning and Elvis Stoiko skated on the same ice, they shared the same podium in Oakland. Since then, Kurt has changed, moving to Toronto. Elvis also turning in a different direction, skating, he promised, with more emotion. Time to focus. Tonight, Elvis and Kurt will put their signature on the '93 Canadian Championship. Preparation now complete. The battle intensifies. Round 2 is nearly upon us. It's the free skate, the showdown. It's showtime in Hamilton. From Cops Coliseum in Hamilton, Ontario, CTV Sports presents the 1993 Royal Bank Canadian Figure Skating Championship. Good evening and welcome to what should be another outstanding night of skating here on CTV. I'm Rod Black. Newspapers and media have been hyping this event for the last couple of weeks. It shows by the ticket sales. It is also being shown by the adrenaline that is building in this building for tonight. Elvis against Kurt. Well, it kind of sounds like a newspaper headline in the making, but it is actual reality. And tonight, virtual reality will take place when the two hit the ice for their final skate, the free skate in the men's competition. Earlier today, Kurt Browning was on the ice at practice. He was loose. He was up. He was jovial. He was lighthearted and joking, and perhaps that comes with the territory. We've seen that in Kurt Browning before, the three-time world and Canadian champion. On the other hand, the contender was more subdued, focused. Elvis Stoiko, perhaps part of his karate training, where he really gets it into his head, the mission at hand. We'll see tonight if Elvis Stoiko can live up to this hype and pressure that is building. Johnny Issa, 17,500 people in this building tonight. You know, Hamilton's always wanted to bring a hockey team here. Maybe they should think about bringing a figure skating event every week.
Well, I tell you, this is one of the great events of all time, and this is going to be the capper right here. You know, we had a triple header this afternoon, a three-way finish in the dance competition for the second year in a row, and could very well have that kind of a finish in the men's competition here tonight, with Kurt and Elvis running 1-2. You know, you got to stop and think. Kurt started putting his choreography in between the jumps earlier than Elvis did, and I think that gives him a little edge over Elvis. They've got great jumps. It's not a question of landing them. It's a question of what they have in between, and I think because of what Kurt did earlier, that will provide the difference.
All right, my question to you then is, who's going to win?
Well, I think Kurt will, because he put it in earlier. He's got more of it there, and if they both stay, he'll do it.
All right, we'll get to Debbie Wilkes' prediction in just a moment, but let's talk about confrontations in sport. Ali Fraser in boxing, Gretzky Lemieux in hockey, Carl Lewis and Ben Johnson in track and field. This is one for the ages, too.
Those are incredible athletes, no question, but it seems to me when you talk about those kind of athletes, you're talking three words: higher, faster, stronger. Figure skating is more than that. It is more creative, more original, more musical, and therefore more difficult. If you people at home are just sitting there counting the triples and the quads, then we don't really need any judges. What's your prediction? I have to ask you.
Well, who are you going to pick?
I'm going to pick Kurt, too. I agree with Johnny.
All right, 2 for Kurt and 1 for Elvis. I mean, you never know. The best words of all are, may the best man win. Rock and roll. Elvis Stoico wants to be the king of figure skating. In order to do that, he knows he must find a way to somehow beat his friend and rival, Kurt Browning. To do that, Elvis must learn from his mistakes, and he has. The progression he has made up the ladder over the last couple of years has been amazing. Tonight, a look at what makes Elvis tick, a skater in the fast lane.
He always refers to me as being a Ferrari. And getting him ready, the car is built. Some days, you know, the Ferrari isn't up to par and needs a bit of oil and spark plug change.
We have all the tools to take care of the job.
Overall, Doug speaks a lot about miles, and miles as in being experienced and doing jumps and getting in the circuit and knowing how you react to things in the circuit. And the circuit is going to Canadians and Worlds and Olympics, and the circuit as like driving a car. Ferrari doesn't run just on air. It needs gas, it needs to change, it needs to be looked after. And my body, just like a car, needs to be looked after. I got to take care of it. And sometimes the technique doesn't work or feels a little off, the timing's a little off, you got to adjust a little bit. But now it's getting to the point where you don't have to overhaul it.
You can't run something full speed all the time without it burning out. So a Ferrari is the best thing I can compare it to, because that's what he is. Many people have the will to win, but very few have the will to prepare to win. And that's the key word, the preparation. The day in and day out. And that's what these, as I say, guys like Elvis have got that.
It's a matter of how you look at it. And some days on the ice, I feel good, step on the ice, and you're like, my legs are not there. And maybe they were okay for driving and walking, but they're not for skating today. And those are the days where you got to push yourself a little bit harder.
The guy trains so hard, and we work to try to make sure that you can always count on your average. And he just lives every day for that, to make sure that his average is at a height of excellence that can put him where he wants to be at the top.
And some people don't realize really how tough it is to get there and what you go through. You go through sore back, sore butts, sore knees, sore ankles, shoulders, everything. Sometimes you can hit your head once in a while on the ice. And a lot of work goes into getting those jumps to work right.
It's the day in and day out that I can create the enthusiasm and the atmosphere to give them and show them where that challenge is and keep building. There's no stopping them.
The Ferrari, Elvis Stoico, along with his coach, Doug Lee. You notice that scar that Doug has on his head. About a month ago, the Ferrari almost ran over his coach. They were practicing some backflips up at the Mariposa Club in Barrie, Ontario, and Elvis's skate came right across and sliced Doug. Now, those scars will heal up. Elvis felt terrible about it, but it's obvious there can be a danger factor even when skating. Let's talk about last night now, and the Ferrari was on ice, and he was in top gear for his technical program. That picture of Kurt Browning with the medal in hand, whether anyone cares to admit it here or not, Kurt Browning is the incumbent champion of Canada. He did not compete last year in Moncton because of a back injury, and there will always be an asterisk beside that championship. After the disappointment in Albertville, which everyone, of course, knows about by now, there was a real reckoning in Kurt Browning's life. A time for change. And tonight, The Kurt Browning you see before you is likely the Kurt Browning you haven't seen before. In many ways, a new and improved Kurt Browning.
I miss the simplicity of Edmonton. I knew where all my friends were on a Thursday night. I knew, how to get into the bars real easy. I knew how to zip around town, no problem. Parking was a breeze. Going to a movie was quick. That sort of life suits me. And in Toronto, I'm starting to find my way around, but I kind of miss that. And my friends. You change that much of your environment. My friends are all different. The people I see every day is different. Even the training schedule is different. So it's got to affect you. And you can't pretend it didn't. But still, I guess what I want to reinforce, and one of the reasons why I'm frustrated lately is because I just really want to enjoy my skating. And if you're not skating well, then that's a part of being an athlete. But if you're injured and something's holding you back, so that was one of my goals of coming to Toronto, is to make sure that when I am on the ice, I'm enjoying it. And sometimes it's tough. It's a job. People say, what's your work number? And I, rank.
Sam.
Yes, Paul.
It's December 1941 in Casablanca. What time is it in New York?
My watch stopped.
Casablanca is a program my mom's going to like. So that's basically how I describe it. It's a chance for me to get some powerful tricks in at the beginning and to show some speed and stuff, and then to calm everyone down and really get into a character and say, welcome to Rick's Cafe, and, there's a girl over there, and, maybe she doesn't like me, but maybe I'll make her like me, and there's a little bit of fun going on there. And there's certain parts of the program that just demand quality jumps, and the music sort of carries me through a tough part of the program, and hopefully at the end, when I'm getting that position, there'll have been a bit more than just some jumps and spins, but a bit of a story. The way I feel after Les Miserables or Johnny Guitar, and not just look at the marks, but just make sure that people have a good time. Parts of it came really fast. Parts of it didn't. I mean, the slow part in the middle to the piano, da-dum, da-da-da-dum. I mean, that part I thought would come easy, and it didn't. It really didn't. Like, I was watching Sandra do it, and she looked so good, and then I'd do it, and I feel like a klutz. And hopefully I'm capturing the moment, when it comes. But it didn't come easy to me. Usually things do. And that one, I think I just wanted it so that I was trying too hard and forcing everything. Relax and enjoy it, Kurt.
He's looking at you, kid.
I just want to be a lot better than I was, because I think that I won, a couple world titles, or at least one of them, where I really wasn't as good a skater as I could have been. And I certainly feel a lot more to my skating now than I did when I was world champion. And if I can skate better than I did before and still not win, then I'll be happy. I've just got more to give. I just want to find it.
Hey, sweetheart, yeah, Kurt will be playing it again tonight. Not only will we have Humphrey Bogart in the building, but we'll also have Elvis, of course. I visited Kurt a couple of weeks ago, and to be honest, he wasn't the healthiest he has been. He landed on his backside a few weeks back, and the day I saw him in practice, he was cringing at every jump. He wasn't in a very good mood. Well, all of that was forgotten last night in front of a sellout crowd in Copps Coliseum. Nothing bothered Kurt Browning, it seemed. He stumbled once early in his technical program, and then he took it away. And Kurt Browning tonight backstage. Elvis doing some handstands. We're only minutes away from the Browning and Stoiko show and tonight's free skate.
What a start for Oshawa's Donald Jackson. The Canadian Junior Championship, 5 Canadian seniors, and on to the Olympics at Squaw Valley for a bronze medal. A few weeks later at the Worlds in Vancouver, he missed gold by 1/100th of a point. The 1961 Worlds were canceled because of the U.S. plane crash. And so Don set his sights on Carol Divins, the favorite, skating in Prague, his hometown. The powerful music of Carmen ignited 16,000 fans in Jackson 2. Triple Salchow, 3 double axels, 10 doubles, 10 singles, and then the first completed triple Lutz in the history of skating competition, and only the 6th time he tried it. 22 jumps, one every 13 seconds. The building shook as the marks came up. 6, 6, 5, 9, 5, 8, 6, 6, 6, 5, 9, and 6. 7 perfect sixes and Olympic gold by 20 points. Don Jackson never lost his class. Going into the Canadian Sports Hall of Fame at the age of 50, he completed a triple sow cow and a double axel to prove again that he really did belong.
Well, I knew that I had to skate well, and especially after I skated my school figures. It was one school figure that I really messed up. I chose the wrong piece of ice, and the lineup was off, and I lost 30 points on that one figure. So I was 45 points behind after the total of 6 figures. And I was disappointed, but I realized I had to go on, and another day is just forget the past. And I went out, and the warm-up was great, the feeling of the ice was great, the audience was good. I went out and practiced, and I tried the triple Lutz, not to land it. That was a jump I wanted to land, the first one in my program. And I looked up at my coach, Sheldon Galbraith, and put my thumb up like this, and he said, okay, go ahead. And when I came off the ice and went into the dressing room, I had a little bit of a break, and then I came back, and as I was going on, I said to Mr. Galbraith, there's a room for me to pull up. And he said, Don, there's room at the top. Little did I know that he meant I had to get 6s to be able to pull up. Fortunately, I skated my triple Lutz jump. I skated my program the best I could have skated that night, and the judges awarded me with 7 perfect marks, which was enough to give me 5 out of the 9 judges a first place.
He is a living legend, Donald Jackson. That brings back some good memories for you.
Oh, it does. You see, that was the very first telecast of figure skating we did on CTV, and what a way to start. But Donald Jackson relit the flame in skating in Canada, just as Barbara Ann did the first time in 1948. And from that time on, people talked about skating. They talked about all sorts of skating, and it took from the bottom of the back page of the sports section to the front page of the sports section, to the front page of the paper. That's the difference it made. Such a comeback, the greatest comeback in history, one of the greatest performances in history. And you know what? Years later, I'd love to see him out there with Elvis and Kurt out there tonight.
In many ways, he began this legacy of great skaters with Elvis and Kurt, Brian Orser before him, Brian Polkar, Tuller Cranston, all the great champions.
Canada has a lot of great skaters, and you can trace a lot of it right back to Donald Jackson back in 1962, a performance that people talk about to this day with reverence. They line up for his autograph sitting down there just as you do for Barbara Ann Scott, and she did it 45 years ago. So when you become a skating hero, the starter, the big one, Canadians never forget you.
There he is signing autographs tonight, Donald Jackson. Memories of 62. 31 years later, the Donald Jacksons of today, the new heroes. They're ready to go on the ice next.
José Chouinard, champion figure skater.
I've tried some 2-in-1 shampoos, but my hair was still dry and out of control, especially at the end.
Introducing a 2-in-1 breakthrough, new Hurt Plus Extra Conditioning for dry, damaged hair. It has 35% more conditioner than ever before and sends extra conditioners to damaged areas.
So if you want your hair to be softer and more manageable, try new Fur Plus Extra Conditioner. It's breakthrough care for dry, damaged hair.
Elvis Stoiko. There he is. Here they come. The confrontation and pop. Round 2 ready to begin. There's Elvis Stoiko. And there is Kurt Browning. And there is the sellout crowd tonight. The biggest skating event in Canada since the Calgary Olympics. You have to count the World Championships in Halifax, certainly, but there hasn't been a feeling in a building in Canada like this since Calgary in '88. It has a World Championship feeling, an Olympic feeling, and small wonder when you have the top 2 ranked skaters in the world. Technically, Kurt is number 1, thanks to that silver medal performance in Oakland. Elvis Stojko, number 2 after his bronze, and of course the gold medalist Victor Petrenko retiring to turn pro. Will it be Elvis or will it be Kurt? That's the question on the minds of everyone entering the building tonight. With some more questions and some answers, let's go down to ringside. Debbie Wilkes has a guest with her.
With me is Michael Slipchuk, the 1992 Canadian Senior Men's Champion. Michael, this must be a very strange feeling, handing over the mantle.
Well, it is. One thing, I've never been in this position to hand over a mantle, and it is. It's a weird feeling to being here and not being out there with everyone, but, you know, it was a decision I made to retire this year, and there's going to be a new Canadian champion this year.
How does it feel when you're watching your skaters, your friends? Are you nervous? Would you rather be out there or here beside me?
At times I wish I was out there, and yesterday after watching the shorts, I was more nervous in the stands than I ever was on the ice. Because I know exactly what everyone's going through out there, and you want to be out there and be with everyone, but, you know, I don't know. It's funny when I sit in the stands, I don't know how we ever did it before.
Tell me a little bit, if you will, share your feelings about the 2 leaders, Elvis and Kurt, in any order.
Well, I think the basic thing is in the short programs, you know, they both came out and they both did totally different styles of programs. And, you know, they both made similar mistakes, which was I think, different. I've never had that like that happen at the Nationals like we're supposed to. But, you know, they both kind of strengthened their weaknesses. Elvis has improved his artistic a lot over the year, and Kurt made, like, I think, strides in his body position in the air and his overall line. So he's improved, Elvis has improved, and I think it's gonna be the guy who puts it all together tonight.
Can you give me, in one quick sentence for each of those skaters, what they're thinking of during warm-up?
I think what they're thinking on warm-up, I think Elvis is just is thinking just to get the technical, to get the jumps under control, to get a good feeling. I think Kurt, the same thing. He needs to land some things on warm-up, get a lot of confidence, and then carry that into the program.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Michael Slipchuk, last year's Canadian champion, now a professional autograph signer. We hear. There's Kurt Browning. The warm-up continues as the showdown draws closer.
Royal Bank. More Canadians choose Royal Bank for RSP.
Fasten your seatbelts. The warm-up continues. Kurt Browning getting ready. What does he think about while warming up?
Really should show the 5-minute warm-up and have a play-by-play commentator, because it is an exciting part of the event. I mean, it's as exciting for me as the real thing, because my adrenaline is going a lot more in the 5-minute warm-up than it is for the real thing, because I step on the ice and the heart rate goes bang. And for competition, you bring it back down, but you can't help it. And you're warming up, and everyone's cheering, and they make, like, crazy noises for a 3 jump, and everyone's screaming your name, and they're yelling out things, and they're trying to concentrate. I mean, it's like, you know, roller derby. It's wild.
Those are the thoughts of Kurt Browning. So what goes through the head of the heir apparent?
In a warm-up, I'm so focused on my own thing, I don't really know who's around me. I've seen before guys do that in a warm-up, but I guess I'm so focused on what I'm doing, I don't really see anybody. I just watch out where people are so I don't get in their way or they don't get in my way and stuff like that, but I'm so focused on my game that there's no one out there for me.
Elvis Stojko, Kurt Browning, chills in this building. Shivers down the spine, Deb.
I am shaking. It's already started. Oh.
The order of skates to come. First skate. Jean-Francois Hébert, the young Nova from Quebec. Kurt Browning, then Elvis Stojko, followed by Brent Frank and Marcus Christensen. Keep in mind that 3 Canadian men will be going to the World Championships. You could almost, well, give Kurt and Elvis their spots already, so really, all of those men fighting out for one spot. A young man who last night wowed them in Cops Coliseum, Jean-Francois Hébert from Warwick, Quebec, 20 years old. He was 3rd at the Junior Championships last year.
quit because his parents ran out of money to pay for the skating. So his hometown of Warwick, Quebec, started an annual potluck dinner to raise money for him. The first year they raised $13,000.
We know one thing for sure. He has the jump.
Rod, here comes triple up. For the technical program, Jean Francois was also in the warm-up with Elvis and Kurt. Another skater would be totally undone by that experience. He wanted to become invisible. He said he loved it. He's risen to the occasion, coming to life. Bailout on the triple flip jump.
He did have 8 triple jumps planned for this program.
This is intended to be the setup for the triple axel. All right. Last minute of the program is the toughest. We're training, so this is the game plan. Second attempt at that triple flip. Got it this time.
You don't get it once, go back and try it again.
You are actually not allowed to do the same jump again the same way. It must be done in combination. Somehow differently.
Last year a junior. This year, this kid just might earn himself a trip to the World Championship. Jean-Francois Hebert's mark to come at the 93 Royal Bank Canadians. And Kurt Browning to skate next.
These sandwiches are great.
He was a real fighter during that program. He probably started to think too hard on the first triple flip, and he bailed right out, wide open, stopping the rotation. He brought it back, though, got back online, and successfully completed every jump thereafter.
Technical merit mark, low of 5.3, 5.6 is the high mark. And the marks for artistic impression probably going to be around the same range. As a matter of fact, they are around the same range. And Jean-Francois Hébert currently has his name on top of the scoreboard, but probably not for long. Born in Rocky Mountain House, Alberta. His hometown's Caroline, Alberta. He makes his home in Toronto now. A new program. A return to Casablanca for former world champion Kurt Browning.
Bogart appears with his cigarette.
take a while for them to clear this ice surface with all of the flowers. It's been 2 years since we saw Kurt Browning at a Canadian championship. What a difference a year makes.
This guy can do and be anything and anybody.
We're back with his mark. And also back with his rival, Elvis Stojko, in a moment. Well, Cowboy Kurt just had his cowboy hat on. Look at technical merit, 5'8", 5'9" across the board. He had a problem with the left. And the reason he is so happy is because of another 6.0. 6.0. The leader after the technical program. There still is a little bit of room, Debbie Wilkes, for Elvis Stojko.
There is, particularly, Rod, in the technical merit marks. They have left room for Elvis Stojko. Elvis is maybe going to do the quad.
So does he do the quad now?
It did not go well in warm-up. He tried it once, fell on it. He may decide to go for broke and put it in anyway.
Kurt Browning, beside us, hugs his confrère and the defending champion, Michael Slipchuk. The boys from Royal Glenora used to train together, grew up together. Last night, Kurt Browning skated after Elvis Stojko and rose to the occasion. What's going to happen tonight? Elvis Stojko skates behind Kurt Browning.
Elvis had to wait in the wings while all those flowers were picked up, while the crowd went nuts in here. I wonder what his heart rate is.
I talked to him about an hour ago, and he said, all I'm going to do is go out there and enjoy myself. Let's see if he does.
If he wants to win, he's got to do more
runner-up the last 3 years. Might he be a Canadian champion this year? With hearts pounding across Canada, and probably a big heart pounding in that chest, we take a break and return with the mark for Elvis Stojko. Lucky we are to live in an era when we have two of the most magnificent skaters in the world competing under the same flag.
What a treat, what a Christmas gift, a late Christmas gift this is for everyone. Elvis, maybe the turning point in the program was this combination beginning with the triple axel. He doubled the second jump. Kurt had 2 triple combinations. Elvis only had the triple combination with the triple Lutz jump.
But Kurt also fell on his left.
Yes, yes, it's true. Very even as far as the technical merit was concerned.
Oh, my goodness. The mark for technical merit. 6.0. Perfection from one judge. 5.859. The artistic impression mark could decide if Elvis Stojko is the Canadian men's skating champion.
If there is a tie, it will be the artistic impression marks which will break it.
Here it comes. And it might not be enough. The crowd doesn't like it. 5.8, 5.7, 5.8 to 5.9 of 5.8. No 6.0. Kurt had 3 on the board for artistic impression. Elvis Stojko gets second place ordinals across the board. Those are second place rankings from the judge. He looks like he might have to settle again for a runner-up position at these Canadian championships. We still have a couple of skaters to come, mind you. I don't know if we can even calm down enough after that.
Oh, it's a very tough spot for the next skater.
It will be very difficult, in fact impossible, for either of the next 2 skaters to become the Canadian men's champions. Safe to say that Kurt Browning has reclaimed the throne. And on ice now, the toughest job in the world. Skating after Kurt and Elvis. Pride of North Battleford, Saskatchewan. 23-year-old Brent Frank, who was 7th at the Nationals in Moncton last year.
And keep your fingers counting for these triples as well. The first one, triple cow-cow.
For those keeping score at home, Browning number 1, Stojko number 2, Jean-Francois Hebert number 3. That third position is critical, Debbie.
And within reach for Brent Frank. He was 5th after the technical program. He needs to tick those triples off too.
Top 3 men in Canada go to the World.
That's right, Rod. And this is a beautiful program Brent does. It's uncluttered. He is unhurried, just comfortable being on the ice. Good pattern.
championship already decided. I'm a big believer in the inverted order. I don't know how you feel about that.
I feel the same
Rather
way.
than the draw, I'd rather see the leader skate last.
Absolutely. The building tends to bubble itself right over, and no one has any energy left.
Very well under the circumstances. North Battleford, Saskatchewan's Brent Frank. And there is King Kurt, Canadian champion again. Glenora Club in Edmonton, Alberta. Marcus Christensen getting ready to skate next. Brent Frank from North Battleford, Saskatchewan. You mentioned how tough it is to sit in the wings and watch those two great skaters come out and nail the programs they nailed.
Some skaters rise to the occasion. I think Brent did a very good job. During the draw, the skaters each take turns pulling numbers out of the hat as to where they will skate. And they tease each other about, oh, I hope I don't get to skate after you. And poor Brent got the bad one today.
Tough decision for the judges now. Again, the top three Canadian men are on their way to the World Championship. We seem to have a problem with some of the mechanics there. Jean-Francois Hébert is currently in third position. Wouldn't that be something for the youngster to get to the World? Kurt Browning will be going to the Worlds, of course.
Pretty decisive victory up to this point. He has all first place votes right across the board from all 9 judges.
He's some sixes tonight, too. 3 sixes for Kurt. He had a 6 last night and a 6 for Elvis Stoico. Here are the marks for Brent Frank now. 5.4 is the high mark. 5.2 up there and a 5.3. And the marks for artistic impression should be better for Brent. And some are 5.3, 5.0, 5.4. Brent Frank is currently in the 5th position. So out of the running for a trip to the World. One more skater has a shot to earn a trip to the Republic of Czech, which used to be Czechoslovakia. Prague next month. That's where the World Championships will be decided. And Marcus Christensen has a shot. He was 4th after the technical program. The 22-year-old, born in Toronto, skates in Edmonton, Alberta.
His first jump at 111. Beautiful. Marcus is a reverse jumper. Yeah, injury is very common with these high-velocity, multi-rotational jumps. The body can only take so much pounding.
fellow who is the Canadian champion could attest to that, couldn't he?
Beautiful combination here. Bauer, spread eco sequence into a triple loop. Good, Marcus.
You're the triple ticker. How many has he got already?
Looks like 4 by my count. 4 really good ones.
You may have heard Kurt Browning beside us saying push, push to his former clubmate. He had to dig deep, and he just might have earned it. Final skater of the night, Marcus Christensen. His mark and a wrap-up of an incredible night in Hamilton after this. In Hamilton, 1993 will be remembered for a long, long time. Kurt Browning, the Canadian champion. Elvis Stojko, second place again. Marcus Christensen slips into third. He's on his way to the World Championship. All hail to the new king and the old king. Here's Debbie Wolf.
This is indeed a great pleasure. Kurt Browning, have you ever considered a career in acting?
Why, yeah, well, no. But tonight, the acting part of the program was so much better than it's ever been. The audience just pulls it out of you. I mean, I was really enjoying myself.
Is there anything you can't do?
I can't go to the bathroom right now, and they're telling me I have to. Yeah, I can't do that. But I'm just so happy.
Thanks for being with us. Congratulations. On to Prague.
On to Prague. Yep. But let me celebrate first.
On to Prague for the Canadian champion. Casablanca, very good to him and excellent for Hamilton and the rest of Canada tonight. Kurt is on top again, sending a message to the world. He's ready once again to be on top.